First up, my flavour-packed lamb with fried bread.
Whether I'm cooking high-end dishes or rustic dishes, trust me, it all has to be impressive. So this lamb dish proves that you don't have to spend a fortune to create delicious food. First off, put the pan on. This is a lamb steak, and it's cut just above the leg, just here, because you can see that delicious bone running through the centre, and that's full of marrow, so that just gives the lamb a nice added sweet flavour. Just take your knife, cut through each end. This stops the lamb steak from buckling, so therefore it cooks evenly and colours beautifully. Salt and pepper. Lamb needs quite a lot of help with the pepper, so be quite generous with the pepper. And just pat that down. The pan's just starting to smoke on the outside. Now put the oil in. Get that pan really nice and hot, because this is a cheap cut, so I'm depending on the colour of the lamb steak to really sort of impart a lot of flavour. That's the noise you want to hear. If you can't hear that noise, don't drop the steak in. Put a little bit of garlic in there. Not chopped garlic, just whole cloves of garlic, lightly crushed. Don't even waste time peeling them. In. Tongs, lift up. That bit of fat around the back, that's at the top of the leg. Tilt the pan and let all that fat render.
Rendering is a chef's term. That means melting the fat.
It works brilliantly when you're cooking a ribeye as well. Turn it over. Look at that colour there. Beautiful. Now it looks like an expensive cut, and we've got that nice even sear all over. As it's cooking, just tilt the pan and baste. And basting the lamb steak just means you're sort of adding all that nice scented garlic olive oil back into the lamb. Beautiful. Now take the lamb out and let the lamb rest. Beautiful. Now, for the perfect rustic crouton. So this bread's quite firm, a couple of days old. Just slice it straight down the centre. Dice it up, put it into a bowl. Season it beautifully. From there, I'm gonna add some milk. Sounds strange adding milk to a crouton, but it just gives it that nice, rich, creamy texture. And just let that milk sort of absorb into the bread. While that's soaking, I'm gonna make the dressing. Go back to that initial garlic that was in the pan. Look at that, beautiful. Into the pestle and mortar. Anchovies. Anchovies go brilliantly well with lamb. I want that nice, salty, vinegary flavour and a bit of kick. Some capers. The little baby caps. Very sweet. Now, just pound that to a nice paste. That smells incredible. Next, some Dijon mustard. A nice teaspoon and a half in. A little bit of red wine vinegar, 2 tablespoons, and then our extra virgin olive oil. Now, it's got that heat in there, got that nice roasted garlic, a real hearty, chunky vinaigrette that sort of seeps into that lamb. Some fresh parsley. Crunch up the parsley. Delicious flavour. Parsley in. Nice. Now, get your pan hot for the croutons. Olive oil in the pan. Grab the croutons and squeeze all that excess milk out. Not too hard. I don't want them dry. And in. And then just fry them. And the milk inside these croutons give it that nice, spongy, creamy, delicious flavour. That's the colour I want. Nice. Now, take them out and lightly drain them. A little bit of kitchen roll onto the board, out. And plate them. Just take this amazing vinaigrette and spread it. Get those croutons. Listen to them, like little boulders hitting the plate. The lamb, sit that on. Next one, on. The rest of the croutons, on. Now use all those little bits. And my chef in Paris would kill me right now if he saw me using those, because they're the ugly scraps that customers should never see, but they're the best bits. Croutons on, and then just drop that sauce on all those little bits of the lamb. And there, that is a perfect way of taking a cheap cut into the Premier League of dishes.
We've got aromatic lean lamb chops with char-grilled broccoli and bulgur wheat salad. To cook the bulgur wheat, just simmer until tender, then drain. To give the broccoli a char-grilled flavour, simply cook with salt in a hot, dry pan until smoky and tender. For a quick and easy aromatic dressing, mix together harissa paste with either buttermilk or creme fraiche and add chopped mint. Simple as that. To serve, thoroughly dress your broccoli and bulgur wheat and finish with more fresh mint leaves. Dessert ready and salad's done.
Now for the aromatic grilled lamb chops. How much do you love lamb holes?
A lot.
A lot. On a scale of 1 to 10?
10.
OK, these lamb chops are going to be delicious. First, we're going to marinate them. I'll start putting the spices in.
Yeah.
First one.
Coriander.
Coriander, good. So, teaspoon of coriander seeds in. A little touch of... What's that?
Cumin.
Cumin, well done. Cumin in. One of Daddy's favourites.
Turmeric.
Turmeric. A teaspoon of that in there. Now, a little touch of salt. And then I want you to start grinding that down while I get the ginger and the garlic. Give that a nice little mix, please, for Daddy. That looks amazing. After that, get the garlic, lay it flat. And look, it almost purees the garlic, so we get a nice paste. See that underneath? Sorry about dirtying your nails.
It's OK. I'll just smell of garlic now.
Nothing wrong with that. The more you smell of garlic, the less the boys are going to date you.
Sorry?
Right, now the ginger makes it sort of spicy and fruity. Now, get the ginger and do exactly the same with the ginger. When you grate it like this, it turns into the most amazing ginger puree. Off you go, darling. Come on, Holly, put some muscle into it. Good girl. Nice. See all that there? You get the back of the knife. Now, I'm going to drizzle some olive oil in there, OK? And you bring that together as a paste for Daddy. There you go. Go on, babe.
Stuck on.
No, it'll come off. Nice. Good girl. Now, that smells incredible. That is a delicious paste. So I'm going to tip all that marinade on to the lamb. And then I want you to rub it all in to those lamb chops. In we go. Get your hands in there, my girl. Come on, Holes. So look, you get them in there and you rub all that marinade. The flavour inside these chops. Come on, Holly.
Where'd you find jumper?
Come on. Your jumper's fine. Just smell that. Nice.
So fresh.
And the earlier you do this, the better. The turmeric is starting to stain the lamb chops. They're not even cooked yet they smell delicious.
Yeah.
What are you like, honestly? Oh, my nails. Oh, my nails.
Delicious after marinating from 10 minutes to overnight. But if you can't wait to get your hands on them, you can grill the chops straight away.
Gas nice and high. And grilling them is going to make them slightly healthier. So, lamb on. First one in. We'll slide that in alongside.
Is that so you fit more in the pan?
That's right. What I want to do is get those really nice grill marks on there. See? On. Now we're going to cook them 3 sides. One side up, flip it, and then on the back. See this bit here?
Yeah.
I'm going to grill it on there as well. Now, if you could get the yoghurt out of the fridge, please, darling. Nice. Some fresh mint. I want you to pick the mint, please, and give it a little chop and mix it in with the yoghurt.
Smells amazing.
Doesn't it? So, yoghurt in. Chop up the mint, please. Have a look at the colour of the lamb. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh,
So nice.
doesn't it? How nice are they? They smell incredible. Grilling them this way, they cook so much quicker. Okay, it's a lot healthier. Smell those. Beautiful. Excited?
Yes, very.
Good.
I reckon Megan will like those.
I hope so. See what I'm doing? I'm standing the chops up.
Yeah.
They were not going to dry out this way.
Is that chopped enough?
Chopped.
Or a bit more?
That's fine. And then mix it into the yoghurt, please, darling.
This isn't too hard, is it, Dad?
Not at all, my darling.
How would you know when they're done?
Nice and pink. 3.5 to 4 minutes each side. Medium, 6 minutes. Well done. 8 or 9 minutes. How would you like your lamb, my darling?
Medium rare.
Medium rare.
That's what I always go for.
A lamb cutlet, at its best, will be medium red. Off with the gas. Okay? So a lovely, lovely flavour. Okay? Look at that. Wow. I'm in heaven. One of the secrets to slow cooking is to be robust and really get stuck in. Big, bold flavours work brilliantly well, so don't be precious. This is gutsy cooking at its absolute best. These are lamb breasts, a beautiful cheap cut, and it's sort of tucked alongside the rib. They've been boned out, the skin has been taken off. I'm going to roll them, stuff them, and braise them.
Braising simply means cooking in liquid on a low heat, making the meat divinely tender.
Now, open them up and give them a really good season. Season them both sides, inside and out. Really important. Doesn't look like a real weighty, dense cut of meat, but once it's beautifully slow braised, it's just like melting lamb. It's incredible. I'm going to season the breasts with some dried oregano. Put a heat in there, some chili flakes, lemon zest, put some amazing salted anchovies in there now. They almost melt inside the lamb. So the balance of flavours work beautifully. Now, pull it down towards you and roll that nice and tightly. That's what I'm looking for. String. We just need to tie them 3 times. 1 at each end and 1 in the middle. I fell in love with this dish years ago when I first started working in Paris because we had all the lamb in from the Pyrenees. Nice thing is, they can be done the day before. Pan on, olive oil in, get that oil nice and hot. Lamb in. Really important to get some nice colour on there. Whilst they're browning, slice the onion. The lamb's going to be cooking for 2.5 hours, so don't slice the onions too thinly, otherwise they'll burn. Garlic, I'm going to leave whole. Got a colour on them. Look at that. Beautiful. Take them out. Onions in and garlic. Straight in. Lovely. That's the secret about slow braising. You never change pans. Why? All the goodness is in that one pan. A few chili seeds in there. Oregano. Nice pinch. A little bit of lemon in there. I'm going to do the onions, what I did to the lamb. Next, my capers. Fire them off. Get them exploding at the bottom of the pan. They get nice and crispy. Next, my black olives. Now, white wine. Bring that up to the boil. Deglazing the pan as well. Rinsing the bottom of that pan. And now the flavour in there is just extraordinary. Now, we add our tomatoes. Let's puncture those plum tomatoes.
Then simply place the lamb breast back in the pot and remember to taste.
That's nice. Lid on. Into the oven. 170. 2.5 hours, and forget about it. Whoa, beautiful. All that has reduced down to this amazing, nice tomato sauce, and the lamb It's kept its colour. Look at that. It's braised beautifully. Very carefully, get your little bits there. Slice off, pull off the little bits of string. This is why I get really excited. The secret is not to slice it too thinly. Look at that. You can smell the lemon. It's hard to believe when you slice through the centre there that that is a very cheap cut of meat. I'm salivating. I love this. I mean, it's just incredible. Pick up the tomatoes and the olives and the onions. An amazing, rich sauce. Take your lamb and sort of just sit it on. It looks incredible. And that, for me, is why chefs get so excited with cheap cuts, because the end results are incredible. Delicious breast of lamb with lemon, anchovies, chili, and oregano. Marinating the lamb first. Chilies, we're going to use a mixture of red and green. Take off the tops and just slice in. Garlic, crushed. Don't worry about chopping these ultra fine, just get it in there. Cooking for up to 3 hours, everything sort of blends and almost sort of pures itself together. Smoked paprika goes brilliantly well with the chilies. 2 teaspoons in. A touch of dried oregano. Some little cumin seeds. The blend and the fragrance that they give out is extraordinary. They release a little oil as well and helps to tenderize the lamb. Touch of salt, pepper, cinnamon. That sort of sweetens up the lamb. Olive oil, just a tablespoon. And the olive oil helps to sort of stick all those wonderful spices to the lamb. Jump in, just start really rubbing.
At this stage, you can leave the lamb to marinate for anything from half an hour to overnight, allowing the spices to really penetrate the meat, giving amazing results when you tuck in.
Delicious. Vegetables, carrots and onions, and that's it. Sliced. Secret of slicing vegetables for braising is not getting too thin. You slice the onions too thin, they burn. You've got that horrible char taste on that slow braised.
Braising is just a chef's term that means cooking in liquid on a low heat, making the meat incredibly moist and beautifully tender.
So the secret of braising is having a really nice, thick, durable pan. Get that nice and hot. Just a touch of olive oil. Lamb in, hold the bone, because you're in control then, into the pan. I want that white fat to start rendering, so it'll add more fat, therefore making it a lot more flavoursome as it braises. Chilies, cinnamon in, mix that up. And don't be scared, you're not burning this, you're sort of searing the lamb shanks, and this is the important part right at the very beginning. We're getting the colour on the lamb, which washes off as it braises in the oven, so be generous with that colour. Vegetables in. Wow. And then a couple of bay leaves. So now you lift the lamb up and get the lamb sat on top of the vegetables. Now, deglaze the pan with red wine. Deglazing means that you're cleaning the bottom of the pan and you're getting that amazing flavour washed off and lifted up into that sauce. It can really transform that dish. Always deglaze.
Then bring to the boil and cook for about 10 minutes to reduce.
The wine's reduced down by half. Now for the stock. Bring that stock back up to the boil and then into the oven. Now, don't cover it. When you cover it, all the condensation comes off the lid. Your lamb becomes grey. All this effort and that exciting spice gets washed away. No lid and into the oven for 3 hours.
A slow cook on a low heat of 160 degrees gives the spices time to work and transform the meat so it's mouth-wateringly tender.
Now, look at those. Out, on to a plate. You can just see that meat sliding down. Juicy and incredibly tender. Grab it by the shank, roll them round that rich, delicious sauce. Look at that. And get your sauce. Nice. Beautiful. Just get some mint. Don't chop it. Just pick that fresh mint and let it snow. And there you go, a very spicy, delicious, melting in the mouth lamb shank. Amazing. Pan on for the stuffing. It's a saddle of lamb, basically a sort of Rolls-Royce cut, perfectly shaped, and it suits stuffing to an absolute T.
For the stuffing, finely chop an onion.
Garlic, nice thin slices. Oil in. Onions and garlic in. Just salt and pepper. Make sure the stuffing is beautifully seasoned so it helps to season the inside of the lamb. Now we've got the colour on those onions. We're going to throw in some pine nuts. And that helps to give a bit of a texture. Here's where it starts getting really exciting. Spinach in. And just lay the spinach over the pine nuts. It looks like a lot of spinach, but that's going to condense and disappear almost instantly. There's so much more flavour in spinach when you saute it as opposed to steaming it or boiling it. Gas off, and look at that. Now, to bring that together, no eggs, no breadcrumbs, crumpled feta over the spinach.
Feta cheese adds a beautifully salty, sharp and creamy flavour.
What this does, it brings that stuffing together. Now, open up the lamb. Keep those little fillets to the side. That's the channel that we want to stuff. So I want to just open that up a little bit there. Salt and pepper, lightly. And before we put our stuffing in, we're going to season it with sumac.
Sumac is a wonderful lemony spice that goes brilliantly with lamb, and you can get it in most big supermarkets.
And it sort of cuts through that thick, rich sweetness of the lamb. Open up that lamb there. Take a spoon. If you're preparing this for the day ahead, then let the stuffing cool down. It's inevitable when you start rolling it and tying it, some's going to squeeze out, so load up the ends. Take these beauties, these little fillets, and just support that stuffing and sort of increase that beautiful tunnel. And then from there, over, there, and bring that towards you, and then roll. Like I said, some of the stuffing's going to come out. Now, just tie it. First off, around the side. And don't worry about some flash butcher's knot. Just tie it. One in the middle.
You can get butcher string from your local butcher or at cookware shops.
They go too tight. Go too tight, it just forces all that stuffing out of the lamb when it's in the oven. Nice. Now, we just season the top of it.
Roll the joint to make sure all the skin gets seasoned.
Now, you think normally that just goes in the oven like that. That's how my mum would do it, but get your tray onto the gas. Oil in. Get it really nicely coloured. None of your stuffing's coming out of the sides, really important. Look at that colour, beautiful. It does kick-start the roasting process. Gas off, into the oven.
Cook for 45 to 55 minutes, depending on how pink you want your lamb. Lift the lamb out of the fat to rest. Resting it raised up in the tin will stop it cooking, but not cool it down too quickly, and means you won't lose any of those lovely juices. Next, I'm making a simple but sophisticated accompaniment for the lamb.
Top and tail the cucumber. Peel it. Cut the cucumber into 3 and just core. Taking out all that, it's just sort of watery, seedy, and it spoils the flavour. Slice the cucumber. Cucumber in. Really nice way of making a cheap and cheerful cucumber look glamorous. We're going to dress that cucumber with a nice fresh yoghurt. A couple of tablespoons. Next, some fresh mint. Dress it. Touch of salt. Touch of pepper. And then pomegranate molasses. That just sweetens it up. Finish that with lemon. Mix that up. Lamb is rested. Carefully take off the string and then just gently pull them back. Straight edge knife that's going to cut through that crispy fat on the outside instantly. I tied it purposely so I can get my portion control from the lines. Hold it nice and firmly. Look at your line where the string was, and look. And this one is going to be amazing. Lay and down. Just in those 2 slices there, it proves that stuffing meats is for special occasions, because that is a saddle of lamb at its absolute best.
Stuffing meats and fish not only makes them look fantastic, it also gives them an extra added flavour dimension too. Once you've mastered the technique, you'll be able to turn out dishes that will guarantee you'll have an unforgettable feast.